Let me ask you something honest. How many times have you opened a budget app, set spending limits, told yourself this month is going to be different, and still ended up in the same place? That weird feeling where you work hard all month and still feel behind. Not because you are lazy, not because you do not care, but because you did everything the internet told you to do, and it did not work. Every finance channel, every podcast, every guru, they all say the same thing. Save more, cut spending, skip the latte, cook at home, delete Uber Eats, cancel Netflix, stop buying little things that make life feel easier. And you listened. You actually listened. Most people don't even make it that far. You canceled subscriptions. You meal prepped on Sundays. You drove the old car. You did the work, the discipline, the sacrifice, the guilt every time you spent money on yourself. And you still have almost nothing to show for it. Today, I'm going to tell you why. And the answer is going to make you angry. Not at yourself, at the advice, because the advice was never wrong. It was just pointed at the wrong target. Saving money is not the answer for most Americans right now. Income is. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why. With the real story of one ordinary American who spent 7 years doing everything right and getting nowhere. Until the day he stopped trying to save his way forward and started doing this instead. His name is Daniel. He is 39 years old. He lives in Phoenix, Arizona. He makes $47,000 a year. He's been working since he was 22. 17 years of showing up. 17 years of paying bills. 17 years of trying. Waking up early. Driving to work half asleep. Telling himself things would eventually get easier. And 3 years ago, Daniel decided he was gonna get serious about money. He downloaded a budget app. He tracked every single dollar. He gave every expense a category. He cooked at home 5 days a week. He canceled 7 subscriptions. He stopped buying coffee outside. He drove a 2014 Honda Civic with 200,000 miles on it. He brought lunch to work every single day for 3 years. Same plastic container, same chicken and rice, every single day. Even on the days he was too tired to care. He did everything the gurus said. Everything. And last spring, he sat down to check his savings account. 7 years of trying. 3 years of serious, disciplined effort. He expected to feel proud. Like maybe all those small sacrifices had finally added up to something. He expected to see a number that reflected the sacrifice. The account had $4,100. $4,100. 7 years. He stared at the screen for a long time. The microwave clock in the kitchen kept blinking 11:47 while he stared at the screen. Then he said something out loud to himself in his empty kitchen. Something most Americans have thought, but never said. He leaned back in the chair and rubbed his face like someone trying not to break down. What is the point? Not dramatically, not angrily, just quietly, like someone exhausted. Now here is what most finance channels would tell Daniel at this moment. You need to try harder, cut more, save more, be more disciplined. And that advice would have destroyed him, because Daniel did not have a discipline problem. Daniel did not have a spending problem. Daniel had a math problem. And deep down, he probably already knew it. And nobody was showing him the math. Let me show you the math right now. Daniel makes $47,000 a year. After federal and state taxes in Arizona, he he takes home roughly $36,500. That is $3,040 a month. His rent in Phoenix in 2026, $1,400 a month. His car insurance and gas, $280. Utilities and phone, $190. Groceries for one person cooking at home 5 days a week, $220. Basic health costs and necessities, $150. That is $2,240 in non-negotiable monthly expenses, which leaves Daniel $800 a month. $800. That's what was left after simply existing. That is the maximum. Not what he spent on fun, not what he wasted. That is the absolute ceiling. Every single dollar of discretionary income he has after taxes and basic survival. $800 a month, $9,600 a year. Even if Daniel saved every single discretionary dollar, every coffee he did not drink, every restaurant he did not visit, every Saturday he stayed home, watching other people go out while he checked his bank balance. The maximum he could save in an entire year is $9,600. That is the ceiling. And to build the kind of financial foundation that actually changes your life in America, you need roughly $100,000 at a maximum savings rate of $9,600 a year. Daniel would reach that foundation in 10.5 years if nothing went wrong. And life almost always goes wrong eventually. If the car never broke down, if there was never a medical bill, if he never had an emergency. 10.5 years of perfect sacrifice. 10.5 years of saying no to yourself for a starting point. Not financial freedom, just the starting point. You can only cut your life down so far before there's nothing left to cut except joy. This is not a discipline problem. This is not a spending problem. This is a math problem. And the only tool that solves a math problem is math, not willpower, not more sacrifice, more income. Now, before I tell you exactly what Daniel did, I need to take 1 second. If you are watching this and something feels familiar, if you have been doing everything right and still feeling stuck, you are not alone and you are not failing. The economy changed faster than most people's income did. You are just playing a game where the rules were never explained to you. Hit subscribe right now, because every week on this channel we break down the financial conversations that most Americans never get to have. No jargon, no judgment, no get-rich-quick nonsense. Just the honest math. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell. It takes 2 seconds. And it might be the most valuable 2 seconds you spend this year. Now, the 3 income levers. That is what Daniel used. Not 3 budgets, not 3 spending cuts. 3 income levers. Because below a certain income level in America, every extra dollar you earn does more for your financial future than every dollar you save. This is not hustle culture. This is not grind yourself into the ground advice. This is math. And the math says income is the lever. So let us pull it. Income lever 1, the raise formula. Most Americans never ask for a raise, or they ask wrong. And by never asking or asking wrong, the average American leaves $8,400 a year on the table. Every single year. Daniel had not asked for a raise in 4 years. Part of him already imagined the awkward silence after asking. Not because he was not valuable, because he did not know how. Most people walk into a raise conversation with emotion. I work really hard. I deserve more. Managers do not respond to emotion. They respond to value. The formula is simple. Write down 3 specific things you did in the last 12 months that made money for the company or saved the company money. Put a number on each one. Then walk in and say one sentence. Based on the value I've created this year, I would like to discuss adjusting my compensation to reflect that contribution. That is it. No emotion, no desperation, no comparisons to coworkers, just documented value. Daniel used this formula. 4 weeks later, he had a $7,000 raise. $7,000 a year from one conversation. That is more than 9 months of his maximum possible savings. From one conversation. A conversation he almost talked himself out of having. Income lever 2. The skill tax. Here is the uncomfortable truth about the American job market in 2026. Most employees are replaceable, not because they are not good people, because they have general skills that many people have. And replaceable employees do not get raises. They get cost of living adjustments, which in 2026 means they are actually getting paid less every year in real terms. The employees who are not replaceable, the ones who have one specific skill that is valuable and rare in their company. They have what I call a skill tax. Their employer pays them more because replacing them would cost more. Daniel spent 45 minutes every day for 8 months learning one specific skill. Data analysis using tools his company already had. He did not go back to school. He did not spend thousands on courses. He found free resources online, YouTube videos, forums, random tutorials, whatever he could find. 45 minutes a day, usually late at night after work, when his brain already felt fried. Some nights he barely understood what he was watching. 8 months. He became the only person in his department who could do something the company needed done. 3 months after completing that skill, he had a second raise, $6,000, combined with the first raise. Daniel was now making $60,000 a year, not $47,000. Same city, same company, same apartment. $60,000. Do you understand what that means for his math? His monthly take-home went from $3,040 to roughly $3,900. His non-negotiable expenses did not change. His ceiling went from $800 a month to $1,700 a month. More than doubled. From the same job, in the same city, by pulling 2 income levers. Income lever 3, the weekend income window. This is the one most people get wrong. When people think about extra income, they think about starting a business, a side hustle that requires a logo and a website and a business plan and months of preparation. And then they never start because it feels too big. The weekend income window is different. It is not a business. It is a skill you already have, used for a few hours on weekends, for people who will pay for it. Daniel was good at writing. One of those skills people compliment but rarely think can make money. He had always been good at writing. He wrote emails at work that his manager forwarded to the whole team. He started offering to write website content for small local Phoenix businesses. 3 hours on Saturday mornings, laptop open, coffee beside him. Quiet apartment before most people were even awake. 2 clients, $400 a month. Not 400,000, 400. But $400 a month is $4,800 a year, which is more than half of what Daniel could save in an entire year before. 3 hours on Saturday, Now let me show you what happened to Daniel's math before the 3 income levers. Income, $47,000 monthly ceiling after survival costs, $800. Maximum annual savings, $9,600. Years to reach $100,000 foundation, 10.5 years if nothing went wrong. After the 3 income levers. Income, $60,000 salary, plus $4,800 weekend income. Total annual income, $64,800. Monthly ceiling after same survival costs, $2,100. Maximum annual savings, $25,200. Years to reach $100,000 foundation. Under 4 years, same city, same apartment, same Honda Civic, same survival costs, different income, different math, different future. For the first time in years, the numbers finally felt possible. Daniel today, 39 years old, Phoenix, Arizona. $71,000 salary after a third raise 6 months ago. $18,400 saved. More money than he had ever seen sitting in one account before. Not because he stopped spending on things he loved. Not because he cut every joy out of his life. Because he stopped trying to optimize the wrong variable. The day Daniel stopped asking, "How can I spend less?" and started asking, "How can I earn more?" Everything changed. For the first time in years, opening his banking app no longer felt stressful, because for the first time, his effort matched the actual problem. Not overnight, not without effort, but with effort pointed at the right target. The budget app is not the answer. The meal prep is not the answer. The canceled subscriptions are not the answer. Not because those things are wrong, but because below a certain income level in America, they cannot move the needle far enough to matter. You cannot cut your way to financial freedom on $47,000 in 2026. The math does not allow it. No amount of skipping coffee fixes a $20,000 gap. What you can do is earn your way there. One raise conversation, one valuable skill, one weekend income source, 3 levers. That is it. Stop trying to save your way across a gap that wide. Start pulling the levers that actually close it. Daniel saved 7 years of sacrifice and had $4,000. Then he spent 11 months pulling 3 income levers and had $18,000. Same discipline, different direction. And honestly, that realization frustrated him at first because nobody had explained this years earlier. If this changed how you think about money, drop a comment below and tell me which income lever you are starting with. The raise formula, the skill tax, or the weekend income window. I genuinely read every single one. And honestly, a lot of your stories sound just like Daniel's. Subscribe to this channel, hit the bell, because next week we break down one more piece of the honest financial picture that most Americans never get to see. I will see you in the next one.